I think we've hit the lowest point in the history of this country with media and democracy. I wonder sometimes if we had state media in the United States, how would it look any different than the media that we have right now? I think that some of the coverage that we see would make the barons of the Soviet media empire blush with embarrassment. The fact is that about 750,000 Iraqis have died since the U.S. invasion began. But when AP and Ipsos did a poll not too long ago of Americans and asked them, how many Iraqis do you think have died, the majority of respondents in this country said they thought it was less than 10,000. Imagine that. Now, how many of those people do you think could have told you who the father of Anna Nicole Smith's baby was? I mean, I don't know, but I know it was all over the news. We live in this culture where we have this reality television has become the real world, and what's being done with our dollars and with our soldiers and in foreign countries in our name, that's become like page 7. You know, who's listening to the veterans coming back from Iraq and talking about how horrible it is over there? Who knows that Major General John Batiste and General Eaton just took out ads? They were Bush's commanders on the ground. They've been all over the airwaves saying, President Bush, you say you listen to your commanders. We were your commanders, and no, you didn't. How much attention is paid to those voices? How much attention is paid to the voices of the young men and women who have been sent over to Iraq, who are coming back and trying to speak about what's happened? You know, we did hit a high point in compassionate media coverage in this country during the aftermath of Virginia Tech. We knew the names of the victims at Virginia Tech. We heard from their mothers and their fathers and their roommates. We heard about the musical instruments that they played. We heard about the great dancers that they were, the actors and actresses that they were, the great students who had come from all over the world to go to this university. They were human beings to us. They were portrayed by the media in a sympathetic light. They were victims of a horrible, horrible tragedy, and I think all of us felt a great sense of sorrow listening to those stories. But you know what? Virginia Tech is one day in one Iraqi neighborhood. Imagine if for 48 hours the media covered the victims of this war with the same compassion, the same empathy, the same humanity as they covered the shooting victims of Virginia Tech. This war would end tomorrow. The war would end tomorrow. We are a nation of good people who do not believe in killing civilians, who do not believe in offensive, aggressive wars of conquest. And I think that the media bears a tremendous amount of responsibility for the crimes that are being committed in our names, because there's not a seriousness to the coverage and there's not an empathy with the victims who happen to be Muslim or happen to be Iraqis. If we covered war in the same way that the aftermath of 9/11 was covered, the aftermath of Virginia Tech was covered, what that would do is not give some propagandistic value to anything. What that would do is it would say to people in this country, this is what the human face of war looks like. It looks like children who are killed by cluster bombs. It looks like women who have their arms blown off at a checkpoint because they didn't understand the word stop. That's the human face of war. And if most people in this country were forced to see that human face of war every single day, whether they liked it or not, they would be forced to stand up and say, that's not going to happen in my name anymore. And so the media initially served as a conveyor belt for the lies of the administration and continues to serve as this sort of silent, de facto cheerleader for the war to continue on and on.